Howdy, 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 everybody. Teresa here with
Ian, Habe, and Brad.
And the Critters. Yes, every time I'm getting ready to start one of my vlogs, I will turn to my lovely husband and say, I'm getting ready to start, behave. Right? Yes. Yes, and I still have not colored my hair. I'm thinking I'm probably going to do it tonight. First world problems, right? But look, it's getting to be a big old skunk stripe. Anyway, yesterday I went in. Brad was not feeling well. I think I already had told you guys that. And he was having an off day. He lost our debit card and stuff. He got that handled with ordering a new one and canceling the one we had. And, I mean, it's life that happened, you know. But, he wasn't feeling good. And I could hear the rumbling in his chest, and he's very prone to get bronchitis and even pneumonia. So, when I say that, he coughs. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So, he took one of his pain pills because he was in a lot of pain. Then he took cold medicine, and I'm laughing because I knew this was going to drop him like crazy. It was going to be like, it was almost like, good night, Gracie. So he did take some, I think it was Alka-Seltzer cold. And he did take one of his pain pills because he was in an extreme amount of pain. And I said, well, while you're sleeping, because I knew he was going to fall asleep out here in his recliner, I said, I'm going to go in the bedroom because my bedroom was just, anywhere that you craft a lot is going to get bad. And so the family room / craft room / my bedroom was. So I went in there and I said, I'm leaving all the dogs out here. I ran back there, barely got the door shut because Charlie's right there. Because I knew I was going to have to dig out enough stuff from different parts of that bedroom. You guys all know how that is, where you've got a partial box of craft stuff here, partial box here, partial box here. You need to get all your yarn together in one box. All of my other craft stuff, it's just a little bit of stuff, but in a tote of its own, like all the stuff to make my tool wreaths and stuff. And then like another one that had my sewing stuff. But so I got it all streamlined. We ended up with 2 totes out here that are empty. I'll use, if Brad doesn't use them, I'll use them to pack away seasonal stuff like the Halloween decorations and the Christmas and label them. And so I got where stuff is a lot better organized and looks a lot better, gives a little bit more room. You have to do that every so often. And then Brad woke up. Well, first off, I'm in there, and all of our doors in this trailer have a gap like this from the floor to the door. And I think and Brad says it's to let the air flow through because we have central air and heat. We've lived in other trailers that didn't have that. This is just how it's designed. So anyway, so I'm over there. I look because I hear this. I can't do it because I'm too congested, but a very big inhale, and then I hear an exhale, and I look over, and it's Charlie's big black nose. Now you can see is the nostril part, and you see him sucking in all the air like it's like, my mom's in there and she's not letting me in, so I'm going to suck all the air out of this room so she'll have to open the door to breathe. I just laughed and then he would exhale really loud, and he does it where he makes kind of his jowls flap when he does it. And I was just laughing because I knew. So as soon as I got the room situated enough where they could get back in there, because I had my diamond painting stuff out, my sewing stuff, my wreath making. I had art supplies out everywhere, because one of the totes had art supplies. So as soon as I could, though, I opened up the door, and all I see is Charlie standing there at the door like this. So sad. And of course, Jellybean's right behind him, and they both come in. Charlie hates to be away from his bed. It's very sad. Well, he hates to be away from me too, because
Yeah.
it's not just the bed, or else he'd be in there.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it was quite the mess. And then Bradley, he woke up and he came in and he was sitting on the bed talking to me, and he started just kind of picking up stuff and helping, and it was really nice. He had the grabber, and he was just picking up, all the odds and ends, and it was really was quite nice. I appreciate it.
Always glad to help.
So and then last night we just we were watching that TV program called Alone, and it's on Netflix. No, Hulu.
Yeah.
And it's okay. I mean, they had 10 men, and now I think it's down to 4, and we're only in episode 6? Yeah.
Dropping like flies.
To drop them like flies. It's okay. And I did some loom knitting, of course. I didn't do as much as I would like to have. I'm still working on that one hat, but it's okay. The night kind of got away with us. We don't get a early start on our day. Is we we both have sleep problems, and lately I've been in a lot of pain, basically late at night because of my legs, and because the lymphedema in them is really bad right now. Also with that infection, the infection looking much better. Not gone yet, but it's looking better. But yeah, I had even wrapped my legs and everything in a compression wrap, and it still didn't do much to stop the leaking, severe weeping. So he's been coming in my bedroom late at night just to kind of what we call talking it down. Whenever one of us has severe pain issue, the other one will come and just even sit there and just talk to him. Maybe you make them laugh, think about something else, and that helps. And it helps get that person relaxed enough they can sleep. And so he did that. So we don't end up getting up till noon or 1 now, because I mean we don't go to sleep till 7:38. Like last night, I slept. What, I sleep for about an hour when I told you I was gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was back up. He was sitting on the end of the bed watching TV, and so but you make the best of it. But I was thinking about this. Long story short, you guys know how I am. Grab your coffee. Is This is just my personal opinion, because I know there's a big uproar about people being vaccinated or not being vaccinated, and some companies requiring that you be vaxxed or else, you don't work for them anymore. I think it's a good thing, and that's just my personal opinion, because, okay, let's say Brad and I were going through scenarios. Say that you work in a grocery store, and you're stocking shelves, and you're not vaccinated. And you may even feel like, they used to do the stocking of shelves super late at night, actually when the store would be closed. So say you're stocking shelves, and it happens to be that you're not vaccinated, and you don't know that you have the big corona. And so Brad was reading about on some surfaces, the uh, germs for corona can live on some surfaces 3 or 4 days. So say you're stocking a shelf. Say then I come along unknowingly and get that can of peas, and then I take it to the checkout. The checker, who is not vaccinated, who also doesn't realize that she has been exposed, scans it, puts it in a bag, or else a carryout who is it. You see the chain of events that could happen. It's kind of like whether or not you think children should have their immunizations or not. It used to be the government required everybody did. Now I had an uncle who had polio as a child, and I tell you that man suffered all of his life because he'd had polio. You never met him. He was Ronnie.
Oh no, I never did.
Yeah, you never met him. He was one right below my dad.
Okay.
But I personally want to have people like Amazon workers and Kroger, or Nike or Carhartt or anybody else. I want you to be vaccinated, okay? I vaccinated and nobody wants to go get the vaccine. And it's not fun feeling sick for a few days. And we're fixing this next Thursday to go get our booster. And we already know we may not feel good. We got our first shot, it was no big deal. Second shot, we spent a few days not feeling that hot, you know. But it's better than being hooked up to a ventilator, just like wearing a mask. Now, Brad will tell you, I really have a hard time wearing the mask because I feel like I can't breathe. I'm claustrophobic as is, and I feel like I can't breathe, but I don't have the right to just not wear my mask and expose other people, even though I am vaccinated. Doesn't mean that I haven't been exposed to it and I bring it to you. I just think it's a nice thing to do. Just, why do we have to fight on every little thing? And I know people say it's taking away your freedom. Well, yes, but also if you are not vaccinated and you bring corona to me and I get it, because people that are vaccinated are getting it. Usually these symptoms aren't severe, but if you get it to me, aren't you taking away my freedom? So, I mean, that's just my personal opinion, and I don't want any nasty comments about it. I respect everybody's opinion, and this is just mine. But being that's the state of affairs that we all are in, the entire world, and no, I don't think this is ever really going away. I think we all better get used to doing kind of like what they used to do when the pioneers settled in the West. Their properties were not near each other, and we're talking hundreds and hundreds of acres sometimes. Um, so it would be a big deal if they had a barn dance or something. I mean, that was like the big social, and that's why they used to take so much stock in Sunday too. I think you better get used to entertaining yourselves and being able to enjoy a life of not going out to be social, about just being social in a safer situation. I guess some of you that are dating, maybe you could have, like FaceTime date almost. I mean, it's not the same, but it
No,
would.
it isn't.
Yeah, but it better than nothing.
Yes, it is.
Better
Well,
than nothing. Can you? But I mean, if you were single still, and and all of a sudden you can't be social at all, it's
well,
better than nothing.
how long did we talk on the phone that first night?
Yeah, see, it's not really that different.
No, it
Yeah,
isn't.
and yeah, we used to talk on the phone quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I mean, so you could do that. That's what telling Brad is wanting to reinstitute date night. But we're gonna do it like our very first date was he came over to my house to watch movies. So we'll just reinstitute it like that. Because right now we're not taking any chances. Okay? I'm a little worried, I'm really worried that if Brad got the big C, that I wonder if he might not survive it, because he has had issues with bronchitis and um, bronchitis all of his life. He missed quite a bit of school when he was in grade school because he would get so sick with it. His mom told me about that, and they'd have to like make a tent on his bed and the whole bed, with a humidifier. I'm very cautious about that with him. He has had pneumonia before since we've met, and the morning he woke up, this is a quick story of that. The morning we woke up and he was wheezing so bad, and I had a very early anatomy class, which is a 2-hour long anatomy class. So I rushed out to go get it, but in the back of my mind, I'm really worried about how he sounded. It bothered me so much that in the middle of anatomy class, I walked up to my instructor and said, I really need to go. My husband isn't doing well, and I think I need to take him to the ER. And he's like, oh, yeah, go ahead and go. So I raced home, and I told him he was still in bed, and I said, we're going to the ER. And I know when he's super sick, he's not going to argue with me. He didn't argue with me, and they wanted to put him in the hospital. He had pneumonia really bad, and he said no. But he end up going home with oxygen. And he was on oxygen for, well, about 6 weeks at least. And he even did jury duty wearing it. Hey, it got him out of the house at that point in time. He was happy. But, so I really worry if he would make it or not. That's part of the reason I quit smoking years ago was I was having a lot of trouble breathing, and I have asthma. But I also noticed that Brad was really having a lot of trouble breathing. And he had made a comment to me because I was trying to decide what was making him so bad. And he said, and I don't even realize what you meant when you said it. He said, well, I don't have trouble until I'm at home. And I knew immediately it was because I smoke. And so that's what drove one of the driving forces that got me to quit smoking. It's because I didn't want to damage him. I didn't want to have it be where he struggled to breathe when he's home. So, but we're going to have to start getting used to maybe you belong to, let's say, a quilting bee, and y'all got together and worked on this quilt. Well, it might just have to be where y'all work on individual quilts, but you all do a Google Hangout or a Zoom or whatever, and so you can still visit. I think that's just the safest way to be. I don't know if we're ever going to feel completely safe again.
I think so.
I think this is going to kind of be like the flu shot every year. Some people, I have heard some reports that some people are coming down with the Delta and the Omni at the same time.
That is pretty scary.
Yeah. I heard of this one woman that came down with both of those, plus she had double pneumonia too. And they don't expect she's going to make it. So, I'm not one to take away anybody's freedom, but you don't have a right to take away mine or somebody I care about, their freedom either. I mean, how do you replace a life? You have your freedom, but this life is gone or that life is gone. I mean, we've seen in countries where they become a lot less regulated about wearing masks, and even in our country, and you'll see the cases really spiking up. And I know a lot of people are like, well, it's not going away. We're all going to just get it. Well, okay, that's like having a crapshoot. You know, should I die just because I have a lower immune system? I really would like to live longer. I already take all the precautions that one can take. You can't get much less isolated in the house than Brad and I are, seriously.
Yeah.
You really can't. We don't go to any place but doctor visits, and he actually does go in to pick up our prescriptions. We have our groceries delivered. We avoid contact with people. Luckily we have each other, because I know it has to be a lot harder when you're by yourself. But you know. But enough about that. You guys have a right to believe whatever you want to believe, and so do I. And I will respect and still love you if you believe the complete opposite. That's what the beautiful thing about having freedom of speech. But what was I going to talk about?
Can I ask something real quick?
Sure.
What happens if somebody's freedom of speech causes the death of another person?
Yeah.
I mean, and yeah, I definitely understand the freedom of speech, but if I choose the freedom not to get the shot for it, and then I get it and I give it to somebody else who dies,
Yeah.
okay, I mean, yeah,
That's exactly what I'm getting at, yeah.
it's kind of a hypothetical stretch, but it could happen.
It's like I know a lot of people that are not near as isolated, self-quarantined basically, as we are. Well, that's great. They don't have the issues that we do, so they can get away with that. But we know, and especially with Brad going to have surgery, that's the last thing I would probably never be able to forgive myself if all of a sudden I came down with it, and then he tested positive for it. more and more people coming down with it. And when you see a little kid that has it, that's really sad. Like a little 3-year-old boy that has it, doesn't understand why he can't keep anything down, and just so just do the best you can, guys. I know it's really really hard on getting to be really hard on all of us because we never thought when this first started that we would be looking at this spring being 2 years. That's a long time.
It really
2 years. And like I said, I think it's gonna be like it kind of is with the flu and stuff, where they're gonna hope they know what strains may be coming. You know, I was gonna tell them something else. It wasn't about that. It wasn't about that at all. Hmm. I don't know what it was. We were gonna work in the blue room today, and going through some boxes, and I just don't really feel up to it. My stomach's a little upset right now. And I think we're still kind of getting the tail end of the flu, and not diagnosed, but what we feel like is the flu. So we're just probably gonna relax, watch some movies, or watch some more of that program. There is not anything to watch at all on TV. I'm going a little ballistic. My little laptop in back will only play Netflix right now. I don't know, and we cannot find an appropriate app to reload Hulu. It played fine on there, and so did Prime Video. And all of a sudden, it's like, no, you guys need an app for it. You cannot get one. The app that we find is like, what did it say? Upload it, or
I don't remember what it was.
something soon, updating
Oh
or
yeah.
installing soon or something. It's
Yeah.
like so. And I know it's kind of silly. I was thinking about that. Why am I not watching the big TV at night?
Yeah.
I don't know why, because I don't know why. Couldn't tell you why. But we got plenty to do at home. Keep us entertained. And I think even someday when they have a better handle on all of this with the corona, Brad and I want, like, if we think we're going getting out of the house, we'll go for a drive. We're not really much into social. You know.
Well, although you spent a lot of time working with the general public, and I spent a lot of time working with the general public,
Mm-hmm.
and I hate sounding judgmental, but when you got these people that are just so negative,
Yeah.
it's so hard to try to keep yourself up when you got all these people just doom and gloom.
I never knew how you did it all those years because, I mean, man, you're right. You're trying your hardest, and maybe it's a day where it seems like most of the customers are crabby, and it's just like one after the other, and after a while, it chips away at your self esteem. You're like, but then it only takes one customer saying something nice, and it's like, okay, I keep staring at my stripe. Does it bother you?
Nope,
No?
you look perfect.
But, yeah, we got plenty to do in the house. I still need to go through all those um, diamond paintings and decide what I'm doing with them. Just some to run out of gumption, though. I keep telling myself not to be hard on myself because I just haven't felt real perky for the last week or so. Because you're just like, oh, I should do, and I should do. And you're like, oh, I just really want to sit and do some loom knitting, really. That's what I was going to tell you guys when I was combining my boxes of yarn. Because, I had ordered yarn this fall. But then you have it in a box and you forget how beautiful all the colors are. So I was really loving that. Because all the beautiful colors. I'm like, oh. It was nice, so I enjoyed that. It gets me enthused about continuing projects and stuff. Is
And you've always been that enthusiastic about
colors,
colors. Yeah.
colors, colors.
Yeah.
Colors are just what makes the world so beautiful. Colors,
Yeah.
I wake up every morning with little jelly beans stretched across my chest, And then if I'm not awake yet, she'll take her paw and just keep doing this. She's right behind me right now. Brad said cut diapers last night. The deal is I change her because he's a little afraid to change her. But so I change her. He cuts the diaper, cuts the slit in there for her tail. He'll be watching TV and cutting diapers. You know, kind of funny. I think I figured out what to do with the dog when Brad does have surgery because he really would like me to be up there as long as possible. He's never been admitted into a hospital. He's never had an operation or anything. So of course he's going to be kind of nervous. And I don't know. I want to make sure that he's being properly taken care of. And then if they're not able to do something that I can, if they, I always ask permission, but then, it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna, do this, like say he has to go to the restroom really bad or something, and he's already been up, and usually a nurse will say, a lot of times you'll ask, well, do I need to bring you to go to the restroom? A lot of times nurses will turn and say, well, or if your spouse is here, they can help you.
Okay. Yeah, and I
Yeah,
remember.
in the hospital with me, they've said that.
Yep, I remember that.
And I just want to be there with him, because I like him once in a while, and I want to make sure he's okay, But no, I do. I love him to death, and I mean, you know, even on our worst days where I think that his breathing is really annoying, I still love him. But I figured out what I'm gonna do with the dog because I worry because if I wasn't home in time, you know, say Brad was I just felt like I needed to get him settled down and leave when he's sleeping for the night or something. I'm gonna lock him in. I'm gonna gate him in the kitchen. I have two big gates, and that way they'll have the food and water right there. If they were to have an accident, if I didn't get home in time enough, the big dog will most likely hold it.
Yeah.
But just in case, and I probably would go ahead and take. I'm not sure. See, that's a hard conundrum on whether or not you're taking that diaper off of her and leaving her like that or not.
Yeah.
So I have to rethink that, but that will work at least because I worry about, uh, you know, being there for him, and it's usually a long walk get back to your vehicle and stuff. Um, but I want to make sure he's okay.
Well, especially that area where they put the handicap parking.
I don't know where it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I'm the one always.
Yeah. So I don't know. Usually I go by ambulance or we go in the emergency room door. That's the way I ride, man.
That's funny.
Usually it's the doctor's office calling for an ambulance, which is so ironic to me. It's like the day that the cardiologist called for an ambulance, I know. It would have been quicker for us just to hop in the car and go around the emergency room. But she felt safer doing that. I don't know. Maybe she thought I was going to stroke out or something. But,
Yeah. But you know what, though? I would rather have a doctor do that and act like she did than so many of these doctors are just so indifferent.
The hematologist wouldn't do a direct admit. Yeah. So, I would rather have it be, cardiologist wasn't messing around. But it's a good thing because I had every test known to mankind just about on that heart done. So, we all know the ticker is good. So, but I think a lot about that because it'll just be me up there, which I hate. Just be me waiting in the waiting room, waiting for them to get done with doing him. Have they ever said how long the surgery would be?
About an hour, hour and a half.
Yeah, I bet it's an hour and a half because since they have to add bone and stuff into your hip socket. They're going to build you bigger and better than before. We've been practicing for the bionic man sound. Remember, those of you guys that are around our age, remember the bionic. Was it the $6 million man?
$6 million man.
The $6 million man. And was it the bionic woman? Yeah, I used to love watching her too. But yeah. And I was so disappointed. I was about in junior high. And I love watching $6 Million Man. And we went to Universal Studios out in California, and they showed us how they did the show, and with the styrofoam rocks and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, because when you're watching the show, you think, wow.
Well, and the way they it showed him grabbing a car with one hand and
Yeah,
lifting it up.
they showed that.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
showed, because don't they have a like a counterweight
Yes,
on it?
yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah. It was interesting, though. Universal Studios was very cool. So, I'm lucky to say that I've been to both Disney World and Disneyland, and both Sea Worlds.
That was cool when we went to that one.
Yeah. Even though I know that there's a lot of conflict over that, and I certainly don't want there to be any harm done to any whales, and I've watched the documentaries and stuff, and it makes me very sad. So, I'm glad that I think they're not breeding anymore.
No.
And I'm glad that they're changing their policies. That needs to happen. You know, it's just kind of like I think about that people have been mean to each one of my dogs before we got them, and it just breaks my heart. It's just like, why would you want to be mean to a dog or a cat? That's what I was going to tell you guys about. Is I tell you guys, my mom is very much a narcissist, very much, and I'm learning this more and more. But one of the things she brags about is her treatment of cats. She brags about when she was a kid, her and some boys would take and find two cats, tie their tails together, and then throw them up over a clothesline so they could fight to death, I guess. I can't even imagine. It just makes me want to cry just even thinking about that.
Yep.
How horrible. But I don't understand tying their tails together. Were you breaking their tails then to make a knot?
I have no idea.
Because how else would that be really possible?
Yeah. I'd heard of people talking about that, but
It's horrible.
every time I heard somebody talk about that, it was, oh, I heard this from a friend. It wasn't anybody that actually did.
Until you met my mom, right? And, I mean, she has no remorse at all. She thinks it's funny. Or she brags about that in high school they needed to do a skeleton of something. And what she did was she kept going and getting cats from the dog pound. I guess at that point in time you could get them easily. And taking and killing them and then boiling their bones. And so she messed up a first couple of times, and so she'd go get another cat. No remorse at all. No remorse at all. Just
That's why I've said several times that I don't think you're out of that same
well,
gene
she
pool.
always has hated cats, and and I always wanted a cat. And she was like, "Well, when you grow up and you live on your own, you can have a cat." Well, that's the first thing I got. First thing I got, But
Was that Charity?
yes, and I got her brother too, Kermit. You know, Kermit used to lay in the guinea pig cage and sleep with the guinea pigs. Yeah. I used to take my guinea pig with me just about anywhere. I used to put her in my purse.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. But it just amazes me. I mean, how cruel she can be. Or my parents are the type with honest to goodness, you guys. They'll have a dog that is very elderly or not doing well, and they know the dog is going to die pretty soon. They'll already be out looking for a replacement. Yeah, yeah. I know of a couple times they've actually gotten a replacement just a couple of days before the other dog died. Now, we as humans, if we went and did that, we would be looked at as that's horrible. That say my husband is circling the drain, as they put it, and I've got a replacement lined up.
Mhm. Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. No wonder my mother and I never got along. Like I said, I just never understood why the fake and the phoniness about stuff. I hate that. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys that. So today we're gonna probably watch movies, like I said, and just relax. We're probably having some hamburger patties because it comes to be Saturday night. We usually make pizza, but I don't think you really feel up to making the dough and all that. And so we're just gonna probably have hamburger patties or something equally as easy. I don't really care what we have as long as it's easy.
Well, there's that one hamburger patty in there from last night.
Yeah, and what else you want to have?
Well, you can have that.
Are you not hungry? Well, there's chicken fries too and stuff.
Yeah.
So we just fend for ourselves night too.
Okay.
If you don't feel like cooking.
Yeah.
I know you don't feel real perky. I can tell. And that's my biggest concern is we got to keep him well. I probably will, we'll probably just chillax on the bed because I have to take water pills. And, watch stuff. Hopefully we'll find some decent movies. If not, one of us, Brad, will be on the laptop and I'll be, because I have to run to the bathroom every couple of minutes. I don't have any choice. My legs are leaking bad enough that it's just like, but such is life, right? At least I have the medication to do that. I wanted to read you guys this one life hack on my calendar for today. It's the 22nd and 23rd on this calendar. And most of them have been pretty stupid, I have to admit. But this one I really like. And it says, view life like it's a giant progress bar. Everything you do is progress. Send someone a meme, you progressed in your relationship. Draw a doodle, you progressed in your art skill. Take a bath, you progressed in your mental health. Just keep progressing. And that's so very true. I mean, there's been times where, I've been so down that it's been a major feat to get up and take a shower. And then Brad's been that way too. But then at least if you were able to get up and take that shower, and maybe putting a nightgown right back on, not Brad so much. That at least you feel like, hey, I did something. I at least cared enough to get myself cleaned up. At least cared enough to brush my teeth that day. At least cared enough to take my vitamins. I cared enough to eat something that was a little more nutritious, and not so much. I ate some vegetables instead of that entire bag of chips. I mean,
That's what.
is
That's
that why you
one
started
reason.
doing your?
Yeah.
I like the goatee. I mean, the beard is good too, but I always have liked you best with the goatee. But you do what you want.
Yeah.
You know. Um. It's your face. You don't tell me how to keep my hair. He likes my hair long, but he doesn't tell me how to do my hair.
Yep.
You
And
know.
like I said, it's that it's the act of shaving. It's like you're making a conscious effort to
Yeah,
keep yourself up a little bit more.
I get that.
Mhm.
It's kind of like right now I can't shave my legs. Thank goodness I'm not like super hairy, and the hair I have is very light. But I don't dare shave my legs right now with open wounds.
Yep.
But it's just the act of every morning. But I'll tell you, I'm kind of strange. I always wear perfume, just because you guys know my backstory on that. And I always, even if I usually wear just basically kind of my sleep clothes all the time at home. Why not? You know, like this is just an old house dress, and I have a robe on it because it's a little cold out. I have to tell you guys about that. But I go through the act of the perfume and the deodorant, and you know, combing my hair, changing the dog's butt. We got snow last night. We got a couple inches. It was just like, wow. It is kind of nice, except for like right now we wouldn't go anywhere because our steps are really icy. We don't need to go anywhere anyway. We've been making tanks of gas last phenomenally long. You know, y'all have to admit that, especially if those that are maybe working from home, it's a lot less wear and tear on your vehicle, and it's a lot cheaper on the gas. You're not eating those lunches out all the time. You're not having to buy those work clothes and stuff. So that's nice. I'm seeing a big surge of people wanting to cook more, which is wonderful. People wanting to spend more time with their families, which is awesome. I mean, maybe this is kind of a reset for us as humans that, hey, we need to put a lot more time and stuff into our families. Now, I know a lot of us have really struggled, and I'm no different, that you spend so much time with your spouse all of a sudden that then you start fussing at each other. And that happens everywhere. But just kind of take a step back and go, well, this is my favorite person, and, that person could be perfect, and they're still going to some days irritate you. The breathing thing. The in and the out, the breathing. It's like, must you breathe? Did I say I wanted to share my oxygen with you today? Maybe I wanted all of this oxygen for myself today. Which that person could go, well, it's too bad all the oxygen bars are shut now because you have to share, But, it's life. There's nobody else I'd rather want to spend this amount of time with. Nobody else I could spend this much time with. You and I are not real people persons. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love my friends here. I do. I love you guys. You know that. But like that, it's almost impossible to get me on the phone. I think about calling so and so every so often. And I'm like, no, because I don't know what they're doing. I don't want to disrupt them, and I only have like X amount of time before I need to go do something, and I just don't really like talking on the phone very much. I'm kind of weird that way. But I talk on the phone more than I ever do. Because, like, your dad will call, or your brother, or your aunt. His aunt in Hawaii called him a couple days ago.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I have a hard time listening to her because she sounds just like Brad's mom, and then that makes me sad and makes me want to cry. Somebody was talking to about how they have a tendency to lash out at people in anger, even though they don't mean to, and say some hurtful things. And I said, I liken that to a dog who is scared and all of a sudden will snap at you. They don't mean to, but that's just, they don't know how else to be, but they're scared. Maybe they've been abused, and all we can do is progress. Say you're sorry and progress. Brad's sorry.
Learn from our mistakes.
Yeah, Brad has a lot of mistakes to learn from. No, you're kidding.
No,
that.
you're not.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
The man who gave me the caramel, sugar-free caramel, it's gone. I have a sweet tooth. So sugar-free candy and I are buddies. Right?
Yeah, and I never really had a sweet tooth until I was diagnosed as a diabetic.
I know, and then it's like, wait.
Yeah.
We always said that I should have been a diabetic way before you.
Yep.
But it's the carbs. Yeah, so. Anyway, that's all we got going on, and now that I've taken up almost an hour of your time. Now you've gotten a lot of work done, right, Kathy? She listens to me while she's doing work.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. A lot of you guys listen to me while I do stuff, which is nice because, I like to listen to people too while I'm doing work or doing whatever. Sometimes you just want to sit and listen to somebody. I listen to podcasts like Dateline and it's on old cases and stuff, and it's very, very interesting. So, and they even have like the Ted Bundy case and everything. So, it's very interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna get off here and probably get some stuff done, and we will probably talk to you guys tomorrow. Remember, I love you guys, and I do cherish your friendship so very much. And I think you guys are awesome, and I'm hoping you're having a good weekend. And if you're in this cold, this wave of coldness, please stay warm, because please stay safe. Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Uh-huh.
Whew. Stay safe, no matter what your beliefs are from the big corona. Okay. I want you guys all around. Anyway, love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Say bye, Brad.
Bye, Brad.
Bye, guys.